Well, hello there. Oh, Lord. Well, hello there, race fans of the internet, and welcome back to Talking Dirt TV. Sorry, I had a couple of technical difficulties right there off the jump, but we are right back at you this week. Another broadcast of the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association. This time would come to you from the virtual Five Flag Speedway in the beautiful state of Florida, down in Pensacola. And guys, this week's gonna be a good one. Had some issues there with my audio right off the jump, but luckily that was able to be taken care of. But of course, my name, as you've heard for the past couple weeks for this broadcast, is Ryan Williams, and I'm joined once again by my broadcast partner, Mr. Matt Pridgeon. And as you guys see, we're here at the beautiful Five Flag Speedway, home of the Snowball Derby every single year. And tonight, it is home of the street stocks of the Soar Racing Association as they take it on for, I believe, an 80-lap main event, $30 to win in that one. And these guys are in a heavy points battle, as we'll bring up really quickly and show you what kind of times these guys are turning here in qualifying. Thomas Frisch, your fastest car. I believe Chris Stump in the 98, your second quick. Jeff Clifton, third quick in practice. Elliott Vining, fourth quick in practice. Dylan Sale will be fifth quick in practice here so far. Couple of lap times these guys have turned. Best lap for Frisch down into 17.95 second lap time. So a great lap for Thomas Frisch. But right quick, let me bring in my broadcast partner here, Mr. Matt Pridgeon. Once again, Matt, this is a good-looking field, a good-looking racetrack that we've never been to before.
Yeah, I'm not quite loaded in yet, so I'm just looking through the track photos on the loading screen.
Right.
It looks like it could be a little bit wider of a groove than what we saw last week. Maybe a little bit more side by side racing. I mean, that track last week was tough for it, but they made it work.
Very well should be, Matt. Very well should be. As these guys are about to take to this speedway for their group qualifying. Oh, man, what just happened there? Sorry, I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties trying to get this one started. I was rushed a little bit trying to get here, but here we are, and it's time for Soar qualifying. As we see a couple of guys on the speedway now, and Brian Toller there in the 2. Jeff Clifton, second place in points there in the number 15. Another man who's had a couple of great runs, Thomas Frisch, coming off a second place run last week. He will be another car out for qualifying. Here comes Dylan Sale there in the 12 as well, and those times are going to start popping up on the board on the left-hand side of your screen as we get going. As here you see Clifton, the first one with a time, 18.16 seconds off the gun for Jeff Clifton. Tyler just a little bit slower. Frisch coming in even faster, 18.123 100ths of a second faster than Clifton so far. Believe we got what here, Matt? About 18 guys in the lobby here tonight, 18, 19. So that should make for an epic night of racing here from the beautiful Five Flag Speedway. Alan Carter now on track in car number 1. Of course, Alan Carter, a South Carolina native. Matt, what you got?
I thought you were pausing there, so I was just going to take over for a little bit. The 8 cars on the track now qualifying. Justin McDuff, he turns 18.137, which will put him in third so far.
Good deal. Third place right now for McDuff. Vining on the speedway as well at Sumter, South Carolina's Elliott Vining. Second quick so far, as he will be just off of Thomas Frisch by thousandths of a second there. Vining still back of Frisch. I believe Chris Stump here out of Compton, Georgia on your screen now. His sponsors are your mom, so that's pretty funny. And he goes quick time, 18.01 seconds there for Chris Stump. Carter off the track. Here comes Reed Christensen out of Springfield, Georgia in the number 30 Budweiser Special as he heads off into 1 and 2 here at the Five Flag Speedway. And Matt, interesting dynamic to this track so far. Looks like everybody trying to hug the bottom here in qualifying to see just how much they can get out of it. Normally when you see these guys on asphalt, they're running a lap at the top and then going down low for their second lap to try and hold that speed. But as it looks right now, everybody on the bottom for both laps.
And now, the 11 of Brian Hacker, excuse me, is out on the track now. I think the league rules say he'll be starting in the back this week, right? Since he won last week.
Possibly. Don't hold me to it just yet. But there you see Brian Hacker on the speedway currently. His number 11, of course, went to victory lane last week, and they're just spinning it out. Brian Hacker does down the front straightaway here at Five Flags.
But yes, he had a dominating win, getting up to a, what was it, like a 7.5 second, 8 second lead.
Yeah, something crazy like that. Yeah.
You know, and in the post race interview, he said that Five Flags is not one of his better tracks. He think he might can show up today and get two in a row.
Well, if he does, he's coming from a poor starting position, as he's all the way back there in the 7th spot, possibly having to start from the rear as well. As you see, Kevin Grubbs also on the speedway. I believe Anthony Cianci, Adam Bowden also yet to cut a time with, I believe, about 50 seconds remaining here in qualifying before we get into our 80-lap feature event with the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association from the Five Flags Speedway. We'll throw it back to the big screen here. I forgot to turn that off. There we go. Looking good once again. As you see, Kevin Grubbs right there. Stump still quick time. Dube second. Christensen, Frisch, Vining, your top 5. As I believe Kevin Grubbs is the last car to come out, as Cianci and Bowden not going to make an appearance here in qualifying. And Matt, I guess that'll tell us how we're going to grid this one up, as time running out here for qualifying for the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association from Five Flags. And Matt, this looks like it could shape up to be a rather good race here. What are you kind of expecting as we take to the grid?
You know, last week we went 80 laps caution free, and that was a tight track. This is a little bit wider of a track. It's got a little more banking. I'm hoping we see another entire race go green. But you know, there'll probably be, I imagine there'll be 2 or 3 cautions. Hopefully not many more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully not many more than that. But Matt, we pull up our starting lineup here, and qualifying on the pole will be Chris Stump in the number 98 machine. Outside of him will be Josh Dube in the number 9, your winner 2 weeks ago at Dover. Row number 2 inside, it'll be the 30 of Reed Christensen. Outside of him, it'll be Thomas Frisch in car number 54. Rolling off from the next row back, you'll find Elliot Vining starting from 5th in the 49. Outside of him, it'll be Justin McDuff in car number 8. Brian Hacker will roll off 7th in car number 11. Jeff Clifton will roll off from the 8th spot in car number 15. 9th, Matt, it'll be Dylan Sale rounding out the top 10 here. For this start will be the 13 of Zach Coyer. Then you have Matt Seisler starting 11th, 12th, Isaac Castillo, and Matt standing by with the rest of your starters.
Rolling off 13th, you're going to have the 2 of Brian Toller. 14th is going to be the 33 of Daniel Brown. 15th is going to be the 69 of Kevin Grubbs. Starting in the 16th position will be the 1 of Alan Carter. And 17th, now these guys didn't qualify. One guy's showing that he's not in here, but rolling off 17th, you'll have the 86 of Tyler Jalbert. Then 18th will be the 38th of Anthony Cianci.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that's not showing in here, but in the 19th position, is the 83 of Adam Bowden.
Thank you, Matt. Good-looking starting lineup that we have here at Five Flags for the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association, as these guys are going to roll off. Again, we have, I believe, 80 laps here tonight, Matt, from this little quarter-mile track here down in Pensacola, Florida?
Yes, 80 lap feature tonight, and it looks like Brian Hacker did indeed fall to the rear. Someone else did too. Looks like the maybe Zach Coyer. Yeah, the 13 of Zach Coyer.
Well, good deal as we come down the front straightaway here. I believe lights are going to go out this time. Excuse me, just trying to finish up some dinner. A little bit rushed as we started this one off, but guys and gals, it's about time to go racing here with the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association from the beautiful Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. Front row Chris Stump. Josh Dube to the outside as that iRacing pace car looks to dip off of turn number 4 this time. And it's about to be on like Donkey Kong. Out of turn number 4, here they go. When will that green flag fly? Matt, the suspension's killing me, and here we go as we race into turns 1 and 2. Stump out to a good advantage.
And the 30 of Reed Christensen follows along in and now falls into the second position as they single file out in the top 3. But behind them, we see a battle between, well, was the 54 and the 49, but now the 54 is taking on the 9 for third position. Like I said, track's a little wider. He using that outside to his advantage.
Yeah, Frisch making some moves off the gun here. That's that 54. You see to the outside of Dube's number 9. Right behind them, it's Elliott Vining in 49. Another one of your mainstays of the series. Has ran both seasons. Young driver out of Sumter, South Carolina. Pressuring the 54 of Thomas Frisch, who's falling back behind the 9 of Josh Dube. Up front, Matt, battle for the lead. Brewing Christensen scrubs off a little speed there, but that 30 has it where he needs it.
And if we look back in the field a little bit, we have a battle for, I believe it's the 6th position. Yeah, the 6th position. Was a 4-car battle for a little while there. Now it's down to pretty much 3 cars, but the 93 looking to pick his nose back into it.
So back there, you're looking at the battle for, I believe, 7th, 8th, 9th here. Clifton starting to pull away as we go back single file. Now Dube and Frisch still battling. Frisch holds the spot for the time being as a lap car already coming into play way up high. As you see the field trying to get around, and Dube going to go up behind him right now as he still follows Frisch around the bottom of this racetrack. A little bit towards the back here, Matt. Everybody's starting to single file out as we cut in to lap number 8 of 80. And Stump and Christensen still locked horns, still extremely tight as these guys head into turns 3 and 4 there. There's the up top view. Looks like Alan Carter. Alan Carter going to be another car that's about to go a lap down. I believe something happened with Alan not too long ago as he falls towards the back of the pack here as we're just watching these guys sail around turns 3 and 4, Matt.
Yeah, and we see the 15 of Jeffrey Clifton trying to peek his nose up under the 49 of Elliott Vining. Did you see something?
Yeah, there was a big battle. Isaac Castillo in the number 18 car got all kinds of sideways battling with Coyer. And now Castillo, hemorrhaging spots, has fallen into the clutches of Brian Toller. But luckily for Castillo, he is able to get it back under control and now marching his way back towards the front right now. But what were you getting at there, Matt?
I've done moved on. I'm sorry.
Well, Matt, while you say that, we have a battle and now a pass for the lead.
I just saw that.
Christensen to P1 here in the number 30. Now Stump right there behind him, but here comes Frisch. 54 car on a mission here as we're 11 laps in of 80. And Christensen, your new leader, there's some spots being shifted right now as Jeff Clifton battles now with Elliott Vining. Vining goes to the top trying to conserve some tires. Back up front, Christensen starting to march away with it here. Frisch has moved into the second spot. And right behind them, everybody's still 2x2. There's Chris Stump battling now with Dube on the inside. Dube gonna have a bit of a run down the back, now front straightaway. And he's gonna take that spot going into turns 1 and 2 here. So 98 gonna have to fall in line if he wants to conserve any more spots. Never mind, crosses him over, Matt, as we head into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, talk about that outside lane quite often, and it looked like it kind of bit him in the rear end a little bit there as he loses 3 spots. But
Hmm.
Reed Christensen out front, man, I tell you what, he's been up front in every race we've broadcasted so far,
Right.
starting in the top 5, I believe, in every one. Just bad luck every time. He can't get the gremlins off of him. I wonder if he can get it tonight. But Thomas Frisch looking to peek his nose going down into turn 3. Now they're rolling off into turn 1 on lap number 16, and Thomas Frisch has a slight advantage, about half a car length, as they go off into turn 3. And coming out of 4, you have a new leader.
Well, thank you there, Matt. And yeah, that's a good battle for the lead, but I will say that Reed's the kind of guy. Reed's not going to push too hard off the gun here. He's going to conserve his stuff until we get closer to the end. So I do not fight him. I commend him for not wanting to battle Frisch super duper hard right now, as we're only 18 laps in of 80. So Christensen kind of biding his time, and he'll probably wait towards the end of the race here before he really makes his move. But speaking of making his move, there goes Chris Stump battling back down to the inside of Joshua Dube, Matt.
Yeah, he's trying to pick those positions back off after losing those 3 spots. Now he's back up into the 4th, battling for the 3rd position, while on the tail of the leaders. Josh Dube is actually holding his own pretty well up there, as he lap traffic might cause a problem, and it looks like it won't as they roll off into turn 3.
That's right, and Alan Carter was that lap car there, and that Mountain Dew Baja Blast special. He'll stay high and let the entire top 10 by him. So let's peel our eyes back towards the front here. Still that battle for the lead, that's side by side every now and then. Right behind them, Stump and Dube continue to jockey for position, as Duke getting good runs on the top, but that 98 of Stump, he's just able to keep the momentum coming off the corner, and he will hold down position number 3 for the time. And back up front, here we go, Matt. This is getting fun. Christensen, Frisch, still side by side as we head into 3 and 4.
Yeah, and they come off of turn 4, knocking down lap number 22, now turning to lap 23. And they are still side by side, as everybody behind them is single file. Nope, the 15 of Clifton jumping up under the 98 of Stump. Going off into turn 3 to 49. Elliott Vining is right on the 15's tail.
Well, that's right. There you guys see it on your screens right now. That's the in-car cam with Jeff Clifton's number 15, as he is just on the inside, now passing Elliott Vining in 49. You don't see Vining. Whoa, Clifton gets way sideways as a car juts to his inside. What's going on out there? Vining went back to the bottom. A little bit of rough and tumble, and he gets back by Clifton. But here comes the A car. Justin McDuff making some moves here, Matt.
Yes, and he's not the only one. The guy in the position behind him, the guy in 8th position, the 93 of Matt Seisler, looks to beat. Nope, I'm wrong.
Way
the
wrong.
86 of Tyler Jalbert.
Yeah, we'll worry about hard charges a little bit later, but this battle's still going on here. Clifton and Vining now, they just traded it back, Matt.
And we still have a really good battle going, a 3-car battle really going on for first, as Josh Dube is throwing his number up into the mix, going off into turn 1 on lap 28.
Yeah, Matt, Dube's solid so far, as he got back around Chris Stump. Stump in the 98 car was on the front row and now finds himself 4th, but this 3-car battle quickly becoming a 4-car battle down the front straightaway. Frisch, your leader, still Christensen, holds it down on the bottom. Try not to use up too much of his stuff, as we are quickly approaching halfway. 30 laps gonna go in the board next time that we cross the start-finish line, as Frisch still leads Christensen. Battle for 3rd continues. Stump and Dube right behind them. Enter that number 8 car once again. McDuff made his way around Clifton and Vining, and now he's pressuring for the top 4, Matt.
So a little bit more side-by-side racing than we saw last week. Still, it honestly looks like the high side's where you want to be right now. How Thomas Frisch came down and jumped down up to the bottom going into lap one, or turn 1 in the previous lap.
Right, you see there that the battle box that pops up on the bottom right of your screen right now. Dube and McDuff about 0.06 seconds off of each other continuously as they head off into turns 1 and 2 here. And now it'll change to the battle for third as McDuff able to get by Dube. Look at Christensen once again. He's falling back to third behind Chris Stump. So everybody pretty tight here as we start to see your leader pull away just a little bit as Thomas Frisch about a half a second advantage right now over Stump, Matt.
Yeah, you got that front pack. The front out, let's say 7, and then everybody else is, pretty spread out. But within this top 7, there's no doubt that if they keep this kind of racing up, any of these 7 drivers could win this race come towards closer to the end of.
Oh, you were absolutely right. It's all about who saves their stuff for the end. And we've seen Thomas Frisch be so good all season long at doing that. And we see Reed Christensen maybe used up a little too much here early on as he starts to hemorrhage spots, falling now back to 4th behind McDuff in the 8 car. Dube losing some spots right now as well as we got one slow off the pace. Brian Tyler in the 2 car. Not sure what happened there with Tyler, as he was at the very bottom. I believe he actually went to the pits and came back out. But that's Brian Tyler on your screen right now in 2, and he's fallen all the way behind your leaders and now back in the pit lane, I believe. So Brian Tyler issues for the 2 machine.
Yeah, after that lap traffic incident, you see your top 2 has distanced themselves pretty far from 3rd place. And Thomas Frisch has a little bit of lead on a Stump, but he is closing the gap little bit by little bit.
Call it about a car length's advantage right now for Thomas Frisch. Back behind them, Christensen back to the 3rd spot there in number 30. McDuff still behind him. Dube right there as well. And insert Vining back into the mix. Elliott Vining, a good run. These last 5 or 6 laps has pulled back even with your 3rd, 4th, 5th, and now 6th place man. As here comes Clifton. 2nd place in points right now is Jeff Clifton, but he is not able to gain anything. And the man that he really needs to beat right now, Matt, is leading this race. So, yeah, the 15, he has to do something drastic here. Needs a win if he wants to stay alive in this points battle.
Yeah, I was spectating him when that lap traffic incident happened, and he went to avoid and got a little bit loose and scrubbed the inside wall. So hopefully he didn't hurt the car too bad as he will lose a position, and not sure if he has any damage or not.
Well, Clifton having a bit of an issue with his internet right now, it seems, or as he is off of the speedway. We look back towards the front. There's Frisch and Stump. Matt, we got a battle once again for the lead just over halfway here. Working lap 43 of 80. As your 2 leaders, Stump and Frisch. Now Stump to the lead as we work lap 43, Matt. Whoa!
A little bit of contact coming off of turn 4.
Yeah.
Would pass for the lead. A little bump and run.
Exactly what I saw there as well. And here comes Justin McDuff, Matt, 8 car. Now emerging into this battle for the lead. Your top 2 less than a car length of separation. Dube 4th, Vining 5th. There's Christensen and Seisler right there as well. But let's look here at this battle between 2 friends, Elliott Vining and Reed Christensen. That's a battle for the 5th spot as Reed needs to make this happen right now if he wants to get back towards the front for this one's all said and done. but not making a move just yet. Is Vining a little bit loose coming out of the corner, able to steer it home. Now Christensen looks to the bottom. Vining going to close off the lane. That allows him to get a little bit of separation here. But your gap between your leaders, we look back towards the front. Stump, Frisch, McDuff, all still neck and neck as we head into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, and the 8 of Justin McDuff is right on their tails, so he's looking to make a move as well as Thomas Frisch is trying to do. And not too far behind McDuff is Joshua Dew.
Oh, right. Yeah, here comes here comes Dude, Matt.
And then we look a little further back between your battle between friends. Reed Christensen's on the inside of Elliott Vining as he will pass him for position number 5 there.
Absolutely
on
right.
Lap 49.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. That's a good battle between Christensen and Vining. As Vining gets a little bit loose and Christensen pushes tight coming out of the corner. That one got interesting there for just a second. And more contact. Look back at this battle. Vining not giving it to Christensen easily as he makes some contact. Reed goes way high. Elliott makes the pass. And he will be charging hard to try and catch Josh Dube, who's all over Stump, McDuff, and Frisch. As McDuff now, Matt, has moved into the second spot.
Yeah, and he peeks his nose under Thomas Frisch going into turn 1. Made a little slight contact coming off the 2 there. And it looks like Thomas Frisch will hold on to the lead for at least this lap.
I was about to say for at least right now, because that inside line is where it's at. But here comes lap traffic. Here comes lap traffic. This is about to get interesting. As I believe that, yep, that's the 33 of Daniel Brown. As your leaders start to get closer to him. Thomas Frisch looked a little sideways coming off the corner. I believe he was, as he loses a lot of ground here. And Stump's able to get around him. Your battle for the lead persists. McDuff and Stump battle for it here, Matt.
Yeah, and Thomas Frisch and Joshua Dew battling it out for third right behind him. Lap traffic's about to be, an issue here, and within the next lap.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's about to happen right here as we come down the front straightaway. Let's see what this 98 and 8 decide to do. If they want to split this lap car stays low. That's the 33 of Daniel Brown. Excuse me, that's 33 of Daniel Brown, not that other one. Brown going to stay low here for your leader. Stump going to get around him. Let's see what happens with the battle right behind him. Frisch falling back to the 4th spot. Frisch hugging the 33 as they head down the front straightaway. As he's still got some work to do to get back around the 9 of Duke. 25 laps to go, Matt. 25 laps to go here. From Five Flags with the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association. Brought to you by Southeast Performance. Also brought to you by Wicked Fabrication. And so many more that help get us on the YouTubes here at Talking Dirt TV. Appreciate everybody for tuning in thus far. If you're watching, let us know down in the comment section below where you're watching from and who your favorite driver in this series is, because these guys putting on a heck of a battle right now for the lead, and it is Chris Stump by, I don't know, about 1/10 of a second right now, about a nose piece in front of Justin McDuff here, as Thomas Frisch, interesting right now, Matt. He's starting to fall and fade off of this battle for the lead, as it'll look like it's about to go 3 wide.
I see it differently. He got loose earlier, a couple of laps ago. He's holding his position. They're not leaving him. He's not gaining. He's holding his position, letting the top 3 battle it out. And there you see there with the battles with the 98 of Stump, he has caught up to the pack now. And those guys, the guys in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, are waiting for the 8 of Justin McDuff to make a mistake. It is that tight.
Right, well, hey, he's got to make a mistake first. And as we cross into 20 laps to go, Matt, let's take a look back at your winner 1 week ago. That's Brian Hacker in the 11 car. Hacker currently scored 6th, up 1 spot from his qualifying position, but up a lot from where he started this race. He is right in front of Reed Christensen. Reed trending in the wrong direction in car number 30. Up in front of them, still Vining at the tail end of the top 5. He's a couple of seconds off of your top 4 as we take a look back up. Frisch, Stump, Dube, and McDuff, your top 4 here, Matt, is this battle for the lead about to pick up as Dube a little bit sideways coming out of the corner, 18 to go.
And he ended up stuffing it under him and under McDuff going into turn 1 as he comes out with a bumper length lead. But now McDuff backs off and ducks down back behind him.
Yeah, it's all about being that guy in second at this point in the race. Being that guy in the catbird seat. Your leader is a sitting duck. I know we talk about it mostly at restrictor plate racing, bigger tracks, but even here at Five Flags, these guys can come up with a run out of nowhere. If anything, you want to be the second place guy at about this distance that you're seeing on your screen right now, just like Justin McDuff is currently with 16 laps remaining. Chris Stump needs to make his move. He's got to get back to these guys. He's fallen back about 0.7 of a second off your top 2. Thomas Frisch, not where you want to be either. Frisch about 0.8 back, about 2 seconds back of your leader, Josh Dube. Hacker has made a pass on Elliott Vining. Hacker up into the top 5 in the 11 car. So good run for Brian Hacker up from the back to the front now. He pulls into the top 5, and he desperately, Matt, needs a caution if he wants to get to these leaders.
You're right, as we saw the 8 of McDuff stick his nose up under Dube there for a lap, but then Dube has the advantage on the outside and McDuff just falls back in line. But as you were saying earlier, you want to be that guy in second place right now for the reason you said, and also for the reason of what happened on our very first broadcast with can't remember his name, but it was the 38 and the 54 Frisch.
That was Wesley Hogue. Yeah, Wesley Hogue. Frisch leading the race. Hogue was second. So really, if you're taking that approach, Matt, you want to be the guy in third, which is Chris Stump right now, as I guess he sits in the proverbial catbird seat if anything were to happen with your top 2. Josh Dube, who actually took advantage of that, won that Dover race, currently is your leader, about a quarter of a second better than McDuff coming out of the corner as we take another one off, Matt. Now 11 laps remain as we approach putting Alan Carter yet another lap down there in his Baja Blast number 1 machine.
You see Brian Hacker move up a spot.
Yeah.
4th position around Thomas Frisch. He's definitely wanting a caution right now, or he's wanting lap traffic up here to slow up the leaders a little bit.
Well, let's
see him battle some.
Yeah, let's pull up your last lap times here and look at what Brian Hacker has been able to do whenever it scrolls back around. He is a good 1/10 and a half better than everybody on the track right now, Matt. Reeling in about a 1/10 per lap on Stump and your other leaders, McDuff and Dube, your current race leader. So Brian Hacker absolutely lightning quick in his number 11 machine. At least he's looking to talk to us again. If not, go to victory lane for the 2nd week in a row and only, I believe, his 2nd race with the series. Right behind him is points leader Thomas Frisch, and right behind him, Elliott Vining in 49. Let's look at your other guy that was in points contention. That was Jeff Clifton. Clifton, I believe, out of this race now after some internet issues. So that is a ruined night, to say the least, for Jeff Clifton, as I haven't seen him return to the track after some latency issues forced him off of it earlier. So, Matt, that points battle is going to subside. The points lead going to grow heavily out of this one for Thomas Frisch with a DNF for Jeff Clifton. You hate to see it.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. You hate to see, you hate to see it when it's your top 2 in contention for points.
Right.
I'm not sure what the points difference is going to be now. I don't know who's in 3rd, but
I believe Reed currently is 3rd in points after Wesley Hogue not showing up for the past 2 races. So that should put Christensen in the 3rd place in points. And here we go. We're about to have a battle for 3rd with just 4 laps remaining. Can he get back in the top 3 here? Brian Hacker wants to make a move on Chris Stump, and Hacker's still the fastest car on the track. As your top 2, they're going to start to lock horns again here, Matt. I believe McDuff has taken the lead back from Dube.
He has, and he got a little bit of a lead on him. He's got about, I'd say, a car length going off into turn 3 with coming up on 2 to go. Flagman giving him the field goal. We roll off into turn 1, still 1 car length advantage. And Brian Hacker actually moves up into the 3rd position.
Well, the 9 of Dube overdrove the corner heavily and got a little shaky in the middle of it, so that's going to clear the way. Matt White flag here at 5 flags with the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association. Your leader, Justin McDuff. Back behind him, Dube, I believe he's clear for 2nd. There's Hacker in 3rd, but we're going to follow your leader here, race fans. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Tries to avoid disaster going into 3 and 4. Good looking corner exit for your winner of the SOAR Racing Association at 5 flags is Justin McDuff. Coming home 2nd was Dube. 3rd was Hacker. 4th went to Stump. 5th went to Frisch. 6th to Christensen. I believe 7th to Vining. 8th to Sale. Whoa, there's the 33 spinning out at the end. I believe 9th went to Coyer. 10th went to Seisler in 93. So how about that, Matt? For the 2nd week in a row, we go green to checker here with the SOAR Racing Association, this time from the 5 Flag Speedway in beautiful Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah, I kind of figured they would go green all the way again. You know, I thought last week was good racing. This week was even better in my opinion. You know, you had good battles for lead there the entire race on a green to checkered race.
Exactly, man. They barely gave us any time to really talk about all the extra stuff that's going on with us quickly as they got this race in. I believe, heck, we're what, Matt? We are 33 minutes into this broadcast. 33 minutes. 80 laps, 33 minutes. That's what it's all about. As there's your feature results. Race fans watching at home, Justin McDuff to victory lane in the number 1. Joshua Dube 2nd. Brian Hacker 3rd. Chris Stump 4th. Thomas Frisch rounds out the top 5. Then it's Reed Christensen, Elliott Vining, Dylan Sale, Zach Coyer, Matt Seisler rounding out the top 10, Matt.
In 11th, we had Daniel Brown. 12th, Isaac Castillo. Alan 13th, Alan Carter. 14th, Brian Toller. 15th, Tyler Jalbert. 16th, Jeffrey Clifton. 17th, Kevin Grubbs. 18th, Anthony Cianci. 19th, Adam Bowden.
That is exactly right. That is your feature results here from the 5 Flag Speedway. And up next, I'm going to go in and see if I can drag some of these guys up, bring them down pit side so that we can have a word with your top 3, starting with the race winner. Driving car number 8, Justin McDuff. In just 1 second here, and I will pull Justin up into the broadcast booth here with Matt and myself. And we will have a word with your race winner there. I'm pretty sure he doesn't look like that, but we're going to find out here. Here we go. Let's see. There's got to be an easier way to do this, Matt.
Well, you got me on that because I don't know how to do it.
Let's see. I think I got it this time. Let's see if I poured them in here. Hey, Justin, it's Ryan from the Talking Dirt TV booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you. How's it going?
Hey, man, very, very well. Another green to checker race here with the SOAR Racing Association. And you, my friend, find yourself in victory lane. And what a race there. Find yourself battling for the lead back and forth. I mean, what was the key there to the victory? Just kind of sitting there in second for a little bit, biding your time and waiting on that perfect moment?
Yeah, it was kind of a survival race a little bit. You really had to take care of your right rear tire. The setup was very loose. I fell back to like 9th at the start, and then I just decided I was going to ride and save as much as I could and just pick my way up through. And then once I got to like 5th, it was just crazy. Like they were racing really hard but really clean. And I was able to just make the right moves and get up through there. And I think I was third at one point. And I got ahead of Chris and then just got the lead. I was hoping to pull away, and then I slipped up once, and Josh got by me. And he raced me really clean. I had a lot of fun with him, and I thought he actually had me beat. I thought he might have saved his stuff a little bit better than I did, and then I think he had one big moment there with a couple laps to go, and I got by and was able to hang on.
And yeah, it was definitely an exciting race between you and Josh there towards the end. I believe, like you just said, I believe you were able to save your stuff just a little bit better because Josh was he was sliding just a little bit towards the end there. I mean, what was kind of the key for you though? Because you had to come from about mid pack from the start. How did you manage to both save your stuff for the end of the race and also get past some cars early?
I just try not to overdrive it, and I know that kind of sounds like I'm simplifying it a little bit, but I mean, really that's what I did. I tried to just run my laps, run my pace, and not let those guys get too far ahead of me, and then just pick my way up through. I just tried to be really conscious of saving the right rear because I just knew how loose it got after like 10, 15 laps from practice, and it worked out in my favor. I was able to bide my time and make the right moves and run the right pace the way I wanted to, and just pick my way up through there at the end.
Well, it absolutely worked for you. Congratulations on, I believe this will be your first win of the season with the series, correct?
Yeah, it's actually my first race here, so it's pretty cool.
So back-to-back weeks, we've had first-time winners here, and then next Tuesday night, Justin, we had a completely different track to this. We had to the great state of North Carolina to the Rockingham Speedway. If you plan on making that one, what are kind of your thoughts as we head there?
Yeah, Rockingham's a fun track. It's going to be interesting with the street stock to see how it runs there. They tend to race the bigger tracks a little differently than a lot of other cars. So I'm interested to see how it handles there. And I think the name of the game, especially when you get those long green flag runs, just saving your stuff. You can't burn it up in 10, 15 laps if you're going to go 80 laps green like we did tonight. So that's something you always have to keep in the back of your mind, depending on how the way cautions fall and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, man, it's definitely going to be interesting, but we certainly look forward to seeing you there. But before we let you go here tonight and celebrate your big win, who do you want to thank on the car? Who helped you get to victory lane?
Yeah, well, first, I run the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, all my cars. It's a charity and an organization that I hold near and dear to my heart. So give a shout out to them. Thanks to my teammates at the Empire Racing Team, Chris and Brian. It was cool to have all three of us back on track together tonight. And thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. Do a great job. And thanks for Reed for all he does and for letting me come race with you guys tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, man, we certainly appreciate the compliment. And once again, congratulations on your win. And hopefully, Justin, we will see you next Tuesday night as we head to Rockingham.
Sounds good. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that was race winner Justin McDuff. Next to the booth, we're going to pull up, if I can find him here, your second place runner tonight, winner just a couple of weeks ago, Josh Dube, driver of car number 9, pulling him around and into the booth right now. Hey, Josh, it's Ryan up in the TDTV tower. Have you got a copy on me, buddy?
I got you, man.
Good deal. So, Josh, you went a couple of weeks ago, not exactly the week you were looking for last Tuesday night, but you rebound here, another solid top 3 run there. What was kind of the key towards the end there? Did you just use up your stuff just a little too early?
Oh yeah, and I knew it. You know, we were racing hard that whole top 5, and the whole top 5 of us were racing hard the whole race, and you know the top 2 would get side by side, so then 3rd, 4th, and 5th would catch right back up, and it was just such hard, fun, clean racing. I just couldn't back out, but I knew I used up my stuff too much, and the last few laps was like playing on a Mario Kart track with bananas everywhere.
Well, yeah, man. You put up a tremendous battle with McDuff, with Frisch when he was up there. I believe Stump gave you a challenge a time or two, but you were able to answer the calls the whole time. But next Tuesday, we are completely changing the game. We head from this short track to a much bigger track over at the Rockingham Speedway. What are your thoughts as we head there? That place is going to be a little trickier than these little short tracks.
I don't mind Rockingham one bit. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Hey, I love to hear it. Somebody who's confident in it. A lot of people they're worried more so about the tire wear as we head to these bigger tracks and whatnot. Still going 60 laps. I mean, is there going to be any real change to your game as we head towards a short track or a big track?
Well, one thing about Rockingham, that old surface, it will chew your tires up. So definitely want to be careful on that. Go in easier, roll through until you get back on it. Because yeah, if you burn up your tires, you're definitely gonna be hurting in that one.
Well, that one should be fun. Now, Josh, before we let you go here tonight, who do you want to thank that's helping you get back on the podium here with the Soar Racing Association?
I'll thank Main Mobile Truck Service, Hail Trailer, Cage. Thank Pops and Sharon for watching all these, and my fiance for dealing with it. You guys for the broadcast, obviously great broadcast, and Reed for putting on the league.
Hey, Josh, well, once again, it was great talking to you, and congratulations. Another top 3 here, and good luck as we roll forward to Rockingham next Tuesday.
Thanks, man.
So there was Josh Dube. We got one more person to have a word with before we get going here tonight from the Five Flag Speedway. This man was your winner last Tuesday night over at the New Smyrna Speedway. Let's see if I can pull him up here real quick as he will join the booth with myself and Matt. Brian Hacker. Brian, you got a copy? It's Ryan up in the TDTV booth.
I got you, Ryan.
Hey, man. Well, hey, you find yourself top 3 once again. You said last week this one would be a lot trickier. You didn't like Five Flags as much as New Smyrna. But here you are coming from the back, round out top 3. Not bad.
Yeah, I wish we would have gotten a yellow there at the beginning on lap 3 or whatever. I damn near came to a stop on the front stretch, and I'm looking at it right now. I was like 10 seconds behind the pack when that happened. So if that wouldn't have happened, I think we would have had a shot because we were coming at the end.
Well, man, tell me about the end there. Were you able? What was your key really? Because it looked like you had saved your stuff a lot better than just about anybody. Because I'm looking at lap times, and you're a 10th better than just about anybody on the track, working lap 60 through 80.
Yeah, that was the idea. I knew tires were going to be a huge factor tonight. So even though I got kind of stuck behind the 8 ball at the beginning, I was just going to run my race and let it come to me and hope that a caution came out. And unfortunately, one never did. I think that might be the difference between finishing 3rd and contending for a win. But we were still able to make it up to 3rd and pass a bunch of guys on the way there. So it was still a fun night.
Oh, yeah, it was fun, and it was fun for us because we got through 80 laps in, 30-something minutes. So I'm happy. Matt's happy. We're all happy. But, Brian, we head to Rockingham next Tuesday. Way different than the past 2 tracks that we've been at. What's kind of your expectation? How are you feeling about taking a trip east to North Carolina?
The bigger the track is, the worse I am at it typically. So, yeah. So, I'm not going to say I'm terrible at Rockingham. It's just... it's not one of these that I prefer. So I'll be there. It'll be nice to not have to start in the back next week, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to count us out, but it's certainly not a strong suit of mine.
Well, absolutely. We look forward to seeing what you're able to do there. Now, before we let you go here tonight, once again, shout out those sponsors who helped you get on the podium tonight.
Yeah, Carbon Junction, who's been on the car for a number of years now, Pathfinder Chassis, Aberdeen Restaurant, in Lodge, and the team. So brought a couple of my teammates with me this week, Justin McDuff, who got the win, Chris Stump, who was pretty fast all night. So good to see these guys come in and be really competitive in their first race. So, shout out to those guys for coming in and not being any slouches and getting right up there and taking home the trophy.
Well, Brian, once again, great run, 3rd place finish. Can't be disappointed with that one. So congrats on that, and hopefully we'll see you next week at Rockingham.
Thanks, guys.
So that was your top 3, ladies and gentlemen. Matt, a good race, 35 minutes green, and we're done. So can't be disappointed with that one. What are your closing thoughts as we head home?
Pretty much what I thought it was going to be heading into it. A little bit more 2-wide racing, and green flag the whole time. I didn't anticipate all the lead changes we had, but man, it was great.
It was absolutely phenomenal. Great racing. Every broadcast you've seen so far of the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Association here on TDTV. Some things to look forward to, I believe. Starting next week, we're going to have a little bit of a rebrand, a new logo here for TDTV, and a lot of cool stuff coming as well. So make sure you guys check out the podcast on Thursday, the Talking Dirt podcast, where we will recap this race and so much other stuff. But for my broadcast partner, Matt Bridge, and I've been Ryan Williams, this has been a blast, and we will see you guys next Tuesday night, live at 7:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the Rockingham Speedway. Goodbye and good night, ladies and gentlemen.